Hello, everyone. This is Ed, also known as the Angry Old Man by his sons, coming at you with my 95th TTM video. TTM stands for Through the Mail, where we send out autograph requests to famous people, whatever they may do, and hope they send our stuff back, preferably signed, and that we don't get the dreaded yellow sticker of refused or, moved away or anything like that. I hope everybody's doing well and staying safe. Today I will share with you 4 returns that I got. Wow, I'm so excited. Giddy over 4 returns. Also a pickup, some shoutouts, and 2 melancholy happy trail goodbyes. So we'll start off with the goodbyes first. First is a guy I just got back a few videos ago in a signing, and that is Mike Brumley. Mike Brumley passed away just recently. This took about over a year to get, and he passed away recently in a car accident, so I was shocked to hear that, but, thank him for signing that, and it's sad, tragic he passed away, very good, utility player. And the second goodbye, I guess most of you know, is the passing of probably the greatest living ball player today, and that is Willie Mays, here on the famed catch. The shot from Vic Wertz in the World Series back in '54 at the old Polo Grounds. I never got to go to the Polo Grounds. They weren't even around when I was born. But my grandfather went. That was of his era. My father was the little kid. He was born, I think, after that. So, but my grandfather was a Yankees fan. My other grandfather was a Dodgers fan. But, Willie Mays was great, they said. You had to see him to appreciate him in person. And he was one of the greatest they ever saw. I always liked his home runs. 660 always sounded like a good number. Yeah, it was like Babe Ruth's number and Hank Aaron's number. I always remember those. I can't remember all the guys today, but it's probably because I'm getting old. Mays played, most of his career, obviously, with the Giants, both in New York and out in San Francisco, and then finished up with the Mets. My dad, he was a young man at the time. I think I was maybe a year old. If that, when he came to, I wasn't even born yet, I don't think, when he came to this, but my dad was so excited. Willie's back. Didn't matter that he was near the end of his career, as my dad told me. It was Willie frickin' Mays, one of the greatest ever, he said, and thank God he was back in New York to finish his career. That's all he said. But, very sad to hear of his passing. I heard when he wasn't going to the game at Rickwood Field that he probably wasn't in too good of a health, and I guess he wasn't. So, very sad to see the Say Hey kid go away, but I guess heaven's got another great ball player up there. One heck of a baseball team they got. So rest in peace, Willie. Rest in peace, Mr. Brumley. And thank you for all the great excitement you gave everybody. All right, let's get on to some happier things now. Some shout-outs to 4 channels. These are 4 veterans. I really haven't seen anybody new lately. I'm looking, so we'll give the veterans a shout out. First is Dave Campbell, and he's got a great hockey collection. I love his videos. I used to love his opening, hey, good morning, my neighbors. But he's got a great channel. Real fun. Big Ovi fan. So check him out. And we got Mike, the sports history collector. He does great videos on sports history and, players serving in the armed forces and just great. You learn a lot in his channel as well. And we got Hugo, Signs of the Pastime. A little history, a little ripping, everything in his channel also. He takes you to great places in Florida, sites that you don't see all the time. And it's really enjoyable. He did a recent video with his mother. That was real fun. So check him out. And we got Houston and Son, father and son. They do some card stuff, ripping and such things like that. So check them out. I've been subscribed to these folks for a while, and I enjoy it. All right, I'll show you the pickup I got. This was at a private signing, and I wanted to get this guy on another baseball. I have him on one baseball. It's a Gold Glove one, but this ball, I wanted to get something different on it, and that is, he's got a big signature, too, Mr. Lance Parrish. Get old Lance over there. All right, well, here's Lance Parrish. He signed 84 World Series champs on the ball, which I asked him to do. He put his number on there. But Lance Parrish is probably my second favorite catcher growing up. Gary Carter was the first, but Lance Parrish was the best. in the American League, and he was a great catcher. And there was a recent private signing, and I wanted to get him on that ball to add to my collection. And I wanted 84 World Series champs on there, so that worked out very well. All right, now on to the returns. I was so excited. 4 returns today. This first return came all the way from California. Took about 3 weeks. There was no fee. He signed all 3 cards. Signed a 91 Fleer, and that's Mr. Mark Eichhorn. Signed him with the Angels. Then I got him with the Braves on the 90 Fleer. Little Bible verses there for you. Stand up. And I got him on the Donruss. 88 Donruss with the Jays uni. So I got him on 3 different ones. Let me scoot him in a little bit more. There you go. Get him out of light. All right, a little bit of history, Mr. Eichhorn. That's why I give the history. Somebody asked me why I do it. Well, they're just more than just faces on a card, and some of them have very interesting stories to tell. Mark Anthony Eichhorn was born back on November 21st, 1960 in San Jose, California, so he knows the way to San Jose. He's currently 63 years old. His career went from 1982 to 1996, where he played with the Blue Jays, the Braves, the Angels, and the Orioles. Excuse me. He made his major league debut in 1982, but suffered a severe shoulder injury and did not return to the majors until 1986. So it was pretty bad. The shoulder injury took away most of his fastball velocity, so he had to rely on a lot of stuff to get him through. And that's why he used the sidearm motion, as you see in the pictures there. That helped him with his shoulder. In 1986, he had an ERA of 1.78, better than Roger Clemens, who won the ERA crown, but because Mark Eichhorn fell 5 innings short of winning the title. Manager Jimmy Williams asked him, "Do you want to pitch? We'll get you those 5 innings." He said, no, it's okay. He was the 1986 AL Rookie Pitcher of the Year for the Jays, where he set team records then for rookie relief appearances, ERA, and strikeouts. In the major league career, he had a fielding percentage of .992. He was a really great fielder, committing only 2 errors in 243 total chances. In 2002, he coached his son's Little League team, and they won the Western Regions to go to the Little League World Series in Pennsylvania. Mr. Eichhorn had 48 wins, 43 losses with a 3.00 ERA, 640 Ks, 32 saves, and he was a 2-time World Series champ with the Jays. Yes. So, thank you, Mr. Eichhorn, for returning the cards. Appreciate it. Always appreciate it. Next, this one took 31 days, came all the way from South Carolina. He signed 1 of 1, got him on a USFL football card, and that's quarterback Cliff Stout. Some people used to call him Cliff the Stiff, but he was nice enough to sign it for me. Very good quarterback. A little bit about him. Clifford Lewis Stout, better known as Cliff, born March 27th, 1955 in Oberlin, Ohio. He's currently 69. He played his college football at Youngstown State University out there in Ohio. Was a 4-year starter. Sophomore year, he led the Penguins to an 8-1 record and the school's first appearance in the NCAA Division II playoffs, where they wound up losing to the University of Delaware. Of course, Delaware is now in Division I. He finished his college career with 4,387 yards, second in school history, and 5,459 total yards, which was also second in school history, and 16 touchdowns. In the 1977 NFL Draft, he was picked in the 5th round with the 121st pick by the Pittsburgh Steelers. Shout out to Math Bowler and all these Steeler fans. He was the 3rd-string quarterback when he got to Pittsburgh, and he then set an NFL record, he set, after spending the first 56 games of his career as an active roster member without ever appearing in an official game. In 1980, he became Terry Bradshaw's backup and started his first game against the Browns that year. In 1983, he took over as a starter in Pittsburgh because Terry Bradshaw had a severe injury. I believe it was his elbow. He blew out, and that was it. He never played again. He led the Steelers to a 9-2 record, but then wound up finishing 10-6. So they went 1-4 after that. They did win the Central Division title, but they wound up losing to the LA Raiders. Yes, the Raiders, who seem to play everywhere now, who went on to win the Super Bowl that year as well. In 1984, he signed with the USFL's Birmingham Stallions. In Game 3 of the season was the home opener for the Pittsburgh Maulers. And Pittsburgh fans heckled him. They threw things at Cliff. It was the only sellout in Pittsburgh Mauler history, so I guess they wish he'd come to town a little bit more. His career in the NFL, he played for the Steelers, and after the demise of the USFL, wound up with the Cardinals, and then with the Dolphins and the Cowboys. He did play only with the Birmingham Stallions in 2 seasons in the USFL. He played 66 games in the NFL, had 23 touchdowns and 43 picks, and 4,503 passing yards while he was in the USFL. In 36 games, he threw 60 touchdowns, 26 picks, had 6,479 yards. So, thank you, Mr. Stout. Yeah, good player in the old USFL. Third one came from the great state of Michigan. You call it the hand. I usually call it the mitten, because if you look at it, it looks like a mitten, really. And there was no fee. It took 34 days. It's an 8x10 signed by Jimmy Carson, wearing the old Edmonton Oilers uniform there. A little bit about him. James Charles Carson, known as Jimmy, born July 20th, 1968 in Southfield, Michigan. He's 55 right now. In the 1986 NHL draft, he was picked second by the Los Angeles Kings, second overall. He scored 37 goals as an 18-year-old rookie in the NHL. At the end of his second season, he was traded on August 9th, 1988, along with Martin Galinas, 3 first-round draft picks and $15 million in cash to the Edmonton Oilers. Who did the Kings get? Mike Krushelensky, Marty McSorley, and some guy named Wayne Gretzky. I don't know how his career panned out, but those are the 3 players. In November 1989, Jimmy Carson demanded a trade. He wanted out of Edmonton and was sent to his hometown Detroit Red Wings, along with Kevin McClellan and a 5th-round pick for Jeff Sharples, Joe Murphy, Peter Kilma, and Adam Graves. So, Oilers did well in that trade. His career, he went from 1986 to 1998. He played with the Kings, the Oilers, the Red Wings, the Canucks, and the Old Hartford Whalers. 275 goals overall, 286 assists, and 561 points. So, thank you, Mr. Carson. Jimmy signed it to Ed. Best wishes. That's fine if he wants to put his name on it. I like that. Doesn't bother me. And this 4th and final one, last but not least, took 14 days, came from Utah, cost $20, but he charges $20 for photos. I think he charges $10 now for cards and $25 for baseballs, but that's Mr. Vern Law. I sent him this photo of the different Pirate logos, and he signed up by the 58 one. He put down Cy Young and World Series champs in 1960. I didn't ask him to do that, but that was nice of him. So hopefully I'll get more Pirates on there to fill it up. I'd like to send it out to Elroy Face next. A little bit about Mr. Law. Vernon Sanders Law. Vern, born March 12, 1930 in Meridian, Idaho. He's currently 94 years young. He was signed by the Pirates before the 1948 season. He made his major league debut in 1950, played 1 season, and then wound up serving from 1951 to 54 in the U.S. Armed Forces. So, thank him for that. In 1959, when he came back, or after he came back, I should say, he shared NL Player of the Month with Willie McCovey in August of that year. He went 4-0 with a 1.94 ERA that month. 1960 was his big year. He went 20-9, had a 3.08 ERA, and he led the National League in complete games and wound up winning the Cy Young Award, just as he said. He won 2 games in the 1960 World Series. He was in a lot of pain, though. He sustained a really bad ankle injury on his trip after the Pirates clinched the pennant, but he still pitched. He changed his pitching motion and pitched in pain, as I said, the rest of the way. During the series, he would tear muscles in his back of his pitching shoulder, So he was in real bad shape because he had to change everything. But he wound up hitting .333 in the 60 World Series, even with a run batted in. 1965, he did win NL Comeback Player of the Year, going 17-9 with a 2.15 ERA. He played his whole career in Pittsburgh, two-time All-Star, just in 1960, back when they played 2 All-Star games, probably just to try to make more money. As I said, he was a World Series champ in '60 when they beat the Yankees. The Yankees won that series 3-4. I always tell people they won it. And they won the Cy Young, as I said. In 1965, he wound up winning the Lou Gehrig Memorial Award. His career, 162 wins, 147 losses, 3.77 ERA with 1,092 strikeouts. So those 3 years he missed probably could have added to his win total. Might be a Hall of Fame candidate. His career batting average was .216, which was really good for a pitcher. 11 homers, 90 RBIs, 35 doubles, and 7 triples. So thank you, Mr. Law, for the signing of the photo. So I'll try to add more Pittsburgh Pirates to it. And that is all I have. I hope you're all doing well. Staying cool. It's getting hot out there, so drink a lot of water, everybody, and stay indoors if you can, because it's been brutal out there. Brutal out here where I live. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you like it, hit the like button. Even if you didn't like it, hit the like button, because somewhere down the line we might have something you like. Check out those channels I told you. They're great folks. You'll like them. Let's all be good to each other, one person at a time, and the world can be a better place. Tonight, as I sign off, I would want to say goodnight to all my brothers and sisters in the beautiful country of Greece. Yes. Take care. Love you all.